journey ends today.
What's going on, guys? Jay is back again with some more gameplay. Today we got a good one. Today we're going to be talking about how to finish out your games, how to win more, because you're just not doing it. You can get there, but you just don't have what it takes. You don't got the right team synergy. You just don't know what to do. It's overwhelming. It's not if you just sit down, follow a guide, and stick to the end. Guys, the first thing we're going to be talking about is positioning in our guide, because positioning is so key. I talk about it in almost every single one of my videos. You have to understand and break down where you're at on the map. You have to figure out if you're at the low ground, if you're at the high ground. If you're low ground, you definitely want to get a chance to make it to the high ground, because if you are at the high ground, it's easier to get those headshots, it's easier to get those body shots, it's easier to line up and aim your shots down than it is to line up and aim your shots high, because the only thing you can hit is a small head marker, which if you do hit, it's great, but if you miss, then what do you have? You don't got a lot of options to choose from when you're at the low ground. When you're at high ground, you can push down when you feel like it. You don't have to always feel like you need to, hurry up. Oh, I need to rush. I need to do this. I need to do that. You just sit back and relax when you're at the high ground. The main thing that you want to point out, the main thing that you want to ping is, hey, there's enemies down here. Let's blow them up. Also, guys, I would like to talk about another thing that I feel is important. When there's two teams left, which you guys will see in this next clip, but I want to go ahead and get out the way. When there's two teams left, the easiest way you can get a win is to let those teams first fight and join into the fight later on in the match. What I mean by that is, if you're going for a high kill game, right? When you're in a high kill game, you push everything. You don't care if they're fighting or not. It's better if they're fighting, because you won't get shot at as much. But if you're the last three people, it says three squads left, right? You're a squad. I don't know if people knew that. You're a squad, and there's two other squads potentially out there, ranging from 1 to 3 players. The thing you got to realize is, hey, you know what? Let's let these other two groups of people find each other, start shooting, and let's point out a group. Whoever has the most players, let's dwindle their numbers down first. Let's get their numbers down. Let's shit on them, shit on the next group second. That's what you want to do. That's how you get these wins. That's how you get these back-to-back wins. That is just how you win the game. It's easy. You go off. If you believe in your mind, hey, I think there's like one person left. Well, then yeah, go ahead. Y'all can split up. Chances are, if it's just one person, he just doesn't have what it takes. Gun skill and prediction will outlast luck any day. If you have gun skill and prediction, you have what it takes to earn your win. You have to make sure that if you do see somebody, for that just in case, that you're letting your people know what's going on. It's always good to let your people know what's going on. We won that first game. We won the second game. We won third. We won back to back. Me and Crip, we got to the point in the game now. Like, we're both. I'm level like 60. He's level I think like 40 something. I can't remember. We got to the point of the game where we're pinging. We won't even talk, because I know that if there's somebody in the middle ground, Crip's gonna push low, or I'm gonna push high. I'm gonna see what Crip's doing first. If I see him pushing high, I know I'm gonna push low. If somebody's straight in front of us and they're at a slight high ground, I know that Crip's gonna suppress fire and let me get around to get those key shots to finish these guys off. You have to, when you're playing with somebody, you have to play with people that have the same intellectual capabilities you have. Because if you play with somebody that's dumb, it's just not gonna work. I mean, it's easy to play with somebody that kind of doesn't know what they're doing, because they don't do stupid things a lot of times they're too scared. They don't want to mess. They're afraid of messing up. And I think that overconfidence in a game is a lot of people's drawback. When people assume that they're way better than somebody, that's how they lose in the game. You don't want to overestimate your ability and think that your opponent is not better than you. always think your opponent is better than you. Try to get in those positions where you can make those plays for your team. Get into those positions where you're the hero. Get into those positions where, oh yeah, you know what, man, you're smarter. Why don't you go ahead and go? I'll suppress the fire this time. You want to get in those positions. You want to be a versatile player. You definitely want to get into those gunfights. You want to land at the airship. You want to land at Skulltown. You want to land at these places and get into these gunfights, because when it comes into these late games, all it is gunfight. At the beginning of the match, there's a lot of fighting. At the end of the match, there's a lot of fighting. At the middle of the match, there's in-between fighting. You might catch somebody, you might not catch somebody. A lot of times in a lot of my games, I don't record and upload all of them, but I do have a lot of wins. There's a lot of times where I will be fighting people at the beginning of my game and I have 6 kills and can't find shit and have to wait towards the end of the game to get the other 6-7 kills. It's just about how you find people. It's about rotation. When I got my 20 kill bombs, I actually got them back to back. When I got my 20 kill bombs back to back, I both landed Skulltown. And I constantly push people. When you're trying to win, you don't want to push as much people, but you definitely want to get the win. You want to get your kills. It feels good when you have these high kill win games. But if you want to go for the win, you have to think about positioning. You have to think about your team. You can't get caught in open like I just did. The one thing that you have to realize is, hey, I'm a team player. I'm gonna do what I have to do to support my team. I'm gonna do what I have to do to make sure my team wins. I'm gonna do what I have to do, even if I have to kill myself off to figure out where these guys are, so my team is in a better opportunity to make those plays, revive me, get my banner. There's maybe been 1 or 2 games where I sacrificed myself at the end and there's no revive beacon. And that's okay. We still win the game. It's no fun. You're watching, you're just talking, you're just laughing with your buddies, you know. Hey, it happens. It happens to the best of us. Even the good players, it happens. And sometimes we're just sitting there watching our friends play and they win. Sometimes they don't and you get flustered. But you can't just be upset because every little thing, because just think about it. Instead of sacrificing yourself, what could you have done better to put yourself in a better position the way you didn't have to sacrifice yourself? Like now, I don't sacrifice myself unless I just outright just die by people. Like now, I just outright die, or I position myself like here. I know that team is locked on my buddies. I did a great job here of getting high ground, pointing them out, letting them know, hey, these guys are right here. They're not doing anything. I'm not shooting yet because I'm waiting for my team to get closer. Once I realize somebody's standing completely still, I'm taking those shots. I drop him, bam, easy. I'm looking at these other guys. They're up here. They know I'm up here. I get another kill, easy. We're the champions of freaking game, guys. We pour out that. My team pours out damage. There's a guy in here that me and Crip did so much work. He got carried, and he is not a bad player. He's around the same level I am, and his name is Clutch Bros. He's level like 60 something as well. But me and Crip work so good together that our third person would just have to be phenomenal just to keep up with us. Guys, you have to position yourself. You have to put yourself in those great, fantastic positions to make those plays, get those kills, and to make sure that you're at those gunfights. You have to make sure that you're in those gunfights. You have to make sure at the beginning of the round you're in those gunfights. You're making plays. You're letting things be known. You're letting things be, you're letting things not overwhelm you once you're in these late squads. Once you're in these late games, that's what I'm talking about. These late game wins. How to clutch. This is how you clutch right here. How you clutch is how you do in the beginning dictates how you do in the end. If you practice gunfights and you practice positioning, when you come to those later end games, it's easy for you because you don't have to do as much. You know the map, you know high grounds here, you know low grounds here, you know if you land at Cascade or Bridges. If you don't have high ground, the best places in Cascade and Bridges to be at is where Clutch Bros is right now, or inside of a building. You don't need to be running out all willy-nilly. You're not, you don't got what it takes. A lot of times people just can't. Like right here, I tried to revive my buddy on a spot right there, which was dumb. I should let him crawl up. But I'm so anxious to get my buddy back that, you know, I'm willing to die for it, which is that's not always smart. The one thing, another thing, I shouldn't say the one thing, another thing that you guys should try to predict and try to do is not always pursue the revive. Don't always try to stick the revive, because you die so quick, but you don't, but you do. What I mean by it is, when you die so quick, you die quick when you're trying to revive. You don't die quick when somebody's shooting at you, unless they just got a laser. Sometimes I just got a laser beam and I'm tearing out people's faces. You have to, like I said, and I reiterate this every time, you have to put yourself in better positions to make plays. You don't need to always try to revive your partner. You don't need to always dive down, or especially if you're not a lifeline. There is no point of you trying to revive out in the open if you don't got that quick revive that lifeline has. Don't always go for the revive. That's another tip. Positioning is a tip. Gunfights, gun skill is a tip. You have to get good at these 3 things in order to prosper at the late game. Once you get good at these 3 things, you are winning every single time, back to back to back to back. A lot of the time, I'm just winning back to back to back to back to back to back. Then I'm just like, you know, I can upload a video now. I got to show these people how to play the game. I got to show these people what to do in the late game so that they're as good as me in the late game. Because a lot of times when I'm in the late game, so far my record late game is I have 100% win rate in the late game. When there's one other team and us, we never freaking lose with the team I have. We are always killing it, and that's because we put ourselves in better positioning. We know not to revive each other out in the open. My team has better gun skill than your team, but all that's going to change because I'm giving y'all the blueprints of how to be great. Once you realize how to be great, that's it. That's pretty much it. You're having fun at that point. At this point in the game, me and my buddies, all we're doing is having fun. We're not even, we try to go for wins. Like now, we're just trying to go for high kill games. We don't even care about the wins. We're just trying to just do it, you know? And once you just do it, it's easy. Like, I could have killed that guy, but I was just throwing arc stars at him. Guys, if you like the content and you want to see more of this content, go ahead and subscribe, share. Guys, we're blowing up. We're not blowing up too fast, but we're blowing up and we're getting out there. Thank you. Much love for the support. And until next time, guys, I'm out.